This is my 350z's rear subframe, and if you saw my last video where I removed it, you'll know exactly what I'm doing here. We're going to take this away, we're going to clean it up, we're going to replace all the ball joints, all the bushes, the bearings possibly, and just give it a complete refresh before we put it back in the car. I'm also going to do some rust restoration underneath the car as well. My first job though is to get this round the back of the house so I can put it into my shed and we can start stripping it apart, because that's what we're doing in this video. We're going to strip this whole thing down.
Now before I attempt to take it into the shed, I need to remove some of the weight as it is really heavy. I'm going to have to remove the brake discs, the arms and hubs to make it lighter. First, the top bolts for the arms. Use a 17mm to break loose the bolt, and mine was extremely tight so I did have to use an extension pole. Then once it's spinning, take a 17mm spanner and hold the captive nut in place. It is a good idea to keep your hardware together. Now for the other bolt. Use the spanner to help ease the bolt out, and once taken off, put the bolts back through the holes for safekeeping. Now the 17mm bolt holding on the traction arm. Take this off and then you can pull the arm off the mount. Now I need to remove the spacers. I have to take off the old circlip for the drive shafts using a pair of pliers, and you can pull this out, and don't hurt yourself doing it like I did. Then use your 32mm to undo the drive shaft nut, and this is really easy with a power tool. Take off the brake disc. Replace the hub nut until it's flush on the threads. Take a hammer and hammer it out, not too hard though, but you need to push the drive shaft out. As the shaft goes in, undo the nut a few turns so you can continue pushing it through the hub. Once it gets to a certain distance, take a screwdriver and punch it the last few bits through. The hub will now fall off and you can pull it away. Now I'm quickly going to do a time lapse on the other side.
Right guys, the subframe is now in the garage. In the interest of time, we didn't show it on video because it was really heavy to move. It was really awkward to move. So yeah, but that's in the car, in the garage now. Yeah, basically on the bench over there is everything off like the right or left hand side of the car, and everything back here is off the left
either side of the car, they're all together. So all the bits on that side's over there, all the bits on this side's over here. And on the bench here, we've got the rear member stay thing and the anti-roll bar. I know a lot of you guys mentioned that the anti-roll bar was off this, but obviously if you've watched my video before, you know I did remove it, and I didn't really know I was removing this subframe until then. But yeah, basically what I'm going to do in the rest of this video, I'm just going to show you what the underside of the car looks like, so I don't know if I'm going to go any further with some bits under there. But also, I'm just going to see if I can remove some of the arms off these hubs to make them more accessible. And then in a series of other videos, we're going to be going in depth on how to change and replace a lot of the stuff, all the bushes. I'm going to be doing all the you know, solid subframe bushes here, to clean all this up. So yeah, let's go have a look at what the underside of the car looks like. So yeah guys, it doesn't look particularly healthy under here, but it is still solid. It's just a bit crusty, like it's not, there's nothing really that sort of, apart from maybe the fuel line bracket here and potentially the member stays on each side, which still are actually solid. Nothing really sort of says or springs any concern to me. So yeah, that's basically on the side of the car. We'll be dealing with this in a different video, so watch out for that. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you what the underside of the car actually looks like. Right, so we're back in the shed, and now the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to start stripping down one of these hubs. I'm going to show you how to remove this bit, I'm going to show you how to remove these arms. Yeah, and that's basically probably as far as I'm going to go in this video, and then work out what I'm going to do with the bits afterwards. So let's start with these. The upper rear arm is held on with a 17mm captive nut. Start by cleaning the threads up. It's got a retaining pin through it, which in my experience isn't going to come out. You can chisel it off the thread and use a small Allen key to try, but it honestly won't budge. The easiest way to remove this is use an angle grinder to cut the edges of the pin off, and then you can take your impact and undo it. But because it's a captive nut, it will just spin. Use a pair of grips on the ball joint behind to put pressure against it and undo with the impact. And as you can see, this ball joint is really knackered. It's been mentioned on the MOT twice in the last couple of years. And now for the traction arm. It's got a 17mm bolt and a 17mm nut. Use a spanner to hold the nut still and then undo the bolt. And then pull the arm off. I'm now going to try and remove the hub assembly. It's held on with 4 17mm bolts on the back. I undo all 4 of these and then attempt to hit it with a hammer, as it should just come off, but it isn't budging, so I might just leave it for the moment. Right guys, I'm having a bit of trouble removing the hub from the hub. So I think I'm going to leave the video here because I'm still trying to make a decision on what I'm going to do next. Basically though, but the vast majority of the arms are being replaced with like adjustable ones, so I'm not too fussed about the condition of those. Ball joints and bushes, I've got some poly bushes, some are still the old rubber ones. They're all getting poly bushed. Even the subframe, I'm probably going to go with solid subframe mounts, poly diff bushes, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is all stuff for like next videos. I've still got to remove the diff from the cradle there. But yeah, so that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found it informative of how to strip down the main subframe thing and get the hub apart as best you can with all the arms and stuff like that. There's still like the handbrake stuff to do, but I need to sort of research a little bit on how it works on a 350z. Probably quite the same as a lot of cars, but yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative. Hope you can do it yourself because massive job. But yeah, don't forget to like the video guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Keep enjoying your colossally rusty, horrendously badly rusty 350zs and modified cars, and I will see you in my next video for more fun with your horrendously rusty cars.